Garlic part 2.
Okay, now we're going to make some garlic oil. And the garlic oil you can use for cooking, you can use for naturopathic cures or whatever. Once again, the garlic has flavor, it's pretty pungent, and it has antibiotics in it. What we're doing now is just making garlic oil. This is really simple to do. You just dice up some garlic, and in order to get it in the bottle, we got to put a little bit. So it doesn't stick to the plate, because it will stick as it starts to dry. And then we put it in the bottle. You can add as much garlic as you want, or as little garlic as you want, depending on your tastes or what you're using it for. For any kind of healing, you know, there's specific formulas that you want to use, but for garlic, for so for cooking, you can add as much or as little as you want. It's not going to matter too much. When you get the garlic in the oil, you want to use olive oil, usually virgin olive oil. It'll last quite a long time, especially after you put garlic in. It'll last about twice as long as it normally would. You can refrigerate it if you want, but it's not really going to hold out that much longer than anything else. So it'll last easily a month or two at room temperature. If you choose to refrigerate it, it might last a month or more longer. But if you keep it in a cool area, you know, usually 50-60 degrees, it'll last quite a while. And you use it for cooking. The most common, it's a really good cure for various types of parasites, including the bubonic plague back in Italy. Garlic was one of the primary things that kept bubonic plague from spreading in Italy, simply because fleas don't really like garlic. Trying to get all this in the bottle, it's being uncooperative. Just cover it, make sure that it's completely covered in oil. A lot of people like to use more oil than they do garlic. It's all up to your own personal taste. When it's in this garlic infusion like this, most of the antibiotics are still present, and it's used as a temporary storage of the antibiotic material. So if you wanted to make a garlic bread or something with it, remember that you want to use a raw garlic. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
Maybe price. Maybe if someone wanted to whip this up, how much would it probably cost them?
Yeah. The garlic, the oil is usually the most expensive part. You know, that's going to run about $7 a liter, and the garlic's usually relatively inexpensive. So, just as a good example, you know, usually $10 a quart, but a quart or a liter, excuse me. But a liter is going to last you a very, very long time.
And would they use it on salad, or would they use it on during cooking, or where would they?
Oh, you can use it on salads, on cooking. You can use it on bread. Just about anything that would require olive oil or garlic, you can use it. It's a pretty universal kind of thing.
Where would you recommend storing it for until use? Like a refrigeration or something like that? Or?
Yeah, you can refrigerate it. It won't make it last that much longer, but actually just a cool space works best of anything. 50, 60 degree. You know, you want to treat it like any other kind of olive oil, since the primary constituent is olive oil. Anyway, back to the bubonic plague. The fleas didn't like the garlic flavor that was going through the bloodstream. The Italians were eating a lot of garlic, and so the fleas didn't like it. So therefore, they didn't get flea bit as much. So they didn't get the bubonic plague as much. Now you can use it for just about any kind of parasite, and it's even been, for example, if you get chiggers or sand fleas or anything of that nature, you can usually take this garlic oil after it's been infused for a week or two. It usually isn't too good until you get at least a week or two soaking, and then it'll be good, and then it'll last for a few months. But you rub the oil into areas that are infested with chiggers or fleas, or it even works on ticks. Not always, but most of the time it works on ticks. Ticks don't seem to like it too well. It's been rumored that it works pretty good on things such as pubic lice and pubic crabs too, but
don't want to
I
test
don't know.
it out.
I don't want to test that out. Now you can see I put a lot of garlic in here, so this is going to be real garlicky. So at a later time, like within the next week or so, I want to add more oil, I can just add more oil to it. By then it's pretty well. And this is called an infusion. You're mixing it with oil. We're going to make a tincture here in a second. And tincture is a little bit different. But
that'll be part 3, you think? Or?
Part 3.
Okay.
Part 4, whatever.
Alrighty.
But you definitely want to use this as a natural antibiotic whenever you possibly can, because with the immunity build up to chemicals and various types of diseases and epidemics and whatnot, it can be very useful. It's a way to step outside the norm of Western medicine, but that's it for the infusion.
Alrighty. Turn this off. I've always wanted to delay it so I can hear you say, ah. Alright, I'm cutting it off here.